The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark.
Glory to you, Lord.
The disciples had forgotten to bring bread, and they only had one loaf with them in the boat. Jesus enjoined them, "Watch out, guard against the leaven of the Pharisees and the leaven of Herod." They concluded amongst themselves that it was because they had no bread. When he became aware of this, he said to them, "Why do you conclude that it is because you have no bread? Do you not yet understand or comprehend? Or your hearts hardened? Do you have eyes and not see, ears and not hear? And do you not remember when I broke the 5 loaves for the 5,000? How many wicker baskets full of fragments you picked up?" They answered him, 12. "When I broke the 7 loaves for the 4,000, how many full baskets of fragments did you pick up?" They answered him, 7. He said to them, "Do you still not understand?" The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Today's Gospel reading is about the leaven of the Pharisees. And if we recall from yesterday, that despite the exorcism, despite a miraculous cure, despite the feeding of thousands, the Pharisees wanted a sign. And Jesus said, "You're not going to get a sign." And he gets in the boat with his disciples. And they head to the other side of the Sea of Galilee. And in their haste, they forget to grab some bread for the journey. So this is the scene of our gospel today. Now, imagine if you were Jesus. What would you be thinking about the Pharisees? They were hard-hearted. They were hypocritical. They were insincere. They were ill-tempered. They were blinded by selfishness. Their breath probably didn't smell good either. I mean, Jesus sees them as an excellent bad example. And he sees this as an opportunity to teach his disciples. So he says, "Watch out for the leaven of the Pharisees. Watch out for the leaven of Herod." And of course, the disciples completely missed the lesson. They're thinking with their stomachs, not thinking with their minds. And they certainly were not thinking with their hearts. They think that Jesus is telling them this because they didn't bring bread. I mean, you could almost see Jesus going, "Oy vey, these putzes are so much sugar nut." That was if he spoke Yiddish instead of Arabic. But Jesus' point is that, like leaven, yeast, a small amount can have a significant effect. The Pharisees' leaven of doubt, hard-heartedness, would result in many people being led away from the kingdom of God that Jesus was preaching. Sin in our lives is like that Pharisaic leaven. It can lead us away from God. It can keep us out of the kingdom. This is why frequent confession is so important. My brothers and sisters, Lent begins tomorrow. Instead of making a plan to give up something, make a plan to go to confession at least twice during Lent. Throw out the old leaven of sin. Take on the new leaven of God's grace so you can prepare yourself for the glory of Easter.